These athletes are getting ready for their Friday night, but their Friday night already started here at Coleman Coliseum.
Friday Night Heights. Friday night on the dance floor here after 3 rotations. Auburn's got to be feeling pretty good with a lead of 147.35 to 147.2. But going into the last rotation, Auburn has a chance to do something it has never done. Win in Tuscaloosa. They would clinch at least a share of the SEC, which has not been done before. It hadn't even been close to thought of for Jeff Graba's program. He told us when he came in 9 years ago, it was, can you compete against the bottom of the SEC? Not can you tie for the SEC championship with the national perennial powerhouse Gators?
They have really turned this program around, and they're considered the underdogs always, and like, can you come and just maybe contend for the meet? And they were the top dog coming into this competition, and granted, neither team has had their best showing tonight, and it's kept it close, but I think Auburn's kind of given it away and open up the door for Alabama to take it.
Well, counting a fall, I mean, you would think that Alabama would be way down, but they've still got a great shot at winning this, and they're great on floor as well.
They're only 0.15 behind.
Yeah.
And they had to count a fall. So that just shows that there's lots of points to get made up for them.
And right now it is pretty close between the two Auburn gymnasts, Goburn and Watson, for the all-around championship. Drew Watson will start things off and finish off her night. A 9-8 on Sunday at Texas Women's University.
Small balance check after her acro series of a back handspring layup step out.
And the Tigers have to know that everything is in front of them at this point. They just have to stay on the beam.
Drew didn't come off the balance beam, but she had a decent sized balance check. Switch lead, straddle quarter. She needs to regain her composure and finish the routine strong. Round off 1.5 to a stick. Made up for it on the landing and the dismount, but just seems to lose herself a little bit in the routine. Switch leap, pretty much hitting that full 180 degrees. Just small drop of the shoulder. And then that round off 1.5 dismount for the stick. Good lead-off routine for Auburn. Granted, there were some bobbles and wobbles here and there, but it's a hit.
And here's what Alabama has going for it. This is the number 6 floor rotation in the country. By far the Crimson Tide's strongest event. And they will need to make up a 10.5 here in the final rotation. This is Maddie Desch's best event as well.
Opens up with a big double pike. Landed on her heels, taking that big uncontrolled step backwards. Second pass, round up 1.5, front half to split jump to front tuck.
Fun combination there.
Getting a good amount of bonus points for combining all those skills. Crowd getting into it, clapping around, chanting, teammates doing the routine along with her. Unfortunately, they have to split full. Maddie getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, double tuck. Nails it, lands it, stuck in place. So there's a little bit of a debate. Our cameras caught her stepping out of bounds after that first tumbling pass, but I don't see a judge raise a flag. Technically, her heel doesn't really pass the line and she lands on it. So they're being pretty lenient since they're the home team, I would say, and didn't raise the flag.
I didn't see one either. So that's a very strong start for Alabama, needing this good final rotation. Darian Goburn looking for her 5th all-around championship, needs a 9.725, which for her is not quite that difficult. Did I just do the John Roethlisberger jinx?
You might have. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to double jinx it. The back handspring, that step out, needing to take a step back to get her control. We'll still get a deduction for a type of mistake. She didn't necessarily wobble because she tried to cover it up with the steps, but the judges know that's not how she was trying to perform it. Switch lead, straddle quarter.
Auburn 4th in the SEC in the all-around, entering tonight as a freshman.
Aerial to back full. Almost didn't get that back foot on. She actually kicked her front leg before she put her foot on to jump for the dismount. The hitch kick to aerial, kicks her back foot, still goes for the full and has great control.
Well, she only needed a 9.725 to clinch the all-around. Looking good there. Now here is Shallon Olsen. Following up Maddie Desch's 9.9. So clearly the judges didn't see any fault there in stepping out of bounds.
No, they didn't see it.
Shallon Olsen, the Olympian.
There were whispers of her planning on doing her double-double first tumbling pass. Let's see if they decided to put it in. And they did. Dana said she was pulling out all of the stops tonight.
You can certainly tell the elite gymnasts, Shallon Olsen one of them, and competing in her first season here in Tuscaloosa. Darian Goburn did put up a 9.775, which just snuck out the all-around title.
Front tuck step out to round it back handspring double back. Actually traveled forward on that double back, which defies logic, really. But she was getting close to that corner and just somehow managed to move the double forwards.
Defying gravity there, too. Olsen's career high is a 9.85 on floor. Showing why Dana Duckworth brought her to the University of Alabama.
Round off back handspring, double pie glass pass. Shallon made that floor routine look easy. And a double-double is one of the most difficult tumbling passes a female can perform. Guys tend to do difficult passes, but to see a girl do that and perform it well, that's huge.
That double-double was nuts. You just don't see this thrown.
Double twisting, double back. 2 flips, 2 twists, all in a matter of seconds. Just nails it, no big deal. Casual Friday for Shallon, and then that double back where you can see her knees almost shoot forward out of the back handspring, and she still manages to control that double back. That just shows how strong she is.
So far, through 2 floor exercise routines for Alabama, they've gotten what they've needed. We'll just have to see how high that score is for Shallon Olsen.
Rock solid back handspring step out layup. Step up for Allie Riddle. Switch leap, straddle half.
And you see it was a 9.875 for Olsen.
It's a little low, in my opinion.
I thought so too. Got to give her credit just for throwing the double-double.
Typically, judges reward those high-level skills. Aerial to back full, very crooked, but she manages to get on the beam and make her dismount work. That back handspring step out, layout, step out, right on there. And then the cat jump to aerial goes right off the side when she jumps with that second foot. Still makes the full, but the judges might get her a little bit for deviation.
That was only Riddle's second beam routine this year. And now here is Shea Mahoney, inserted back into the lineup on floor after she missed the meet against Kentucky. And Shea is one of those that's just a natural performer.
First tumbling pass, double tuck, super high, lots of air time.
Last floor routine for Shea Mahoney was a career high 9.95 against Florida. Certainly capable of putting up that kind of number here, especially after that first pass.
Front handspring, front full, front layout. The step dance turn, very, very unique way to kind of cover up if you don't have complete control over the landing of your tumbling pass.
Just all part of the choreography.
It is. That's what you hope to make it look like.
Right.
Georgia Day half to straddle full.
It's like if you're an actor in a play, nobody knows if you flubbed the line except you. If you're able to play it off that way.
Round up back handspring, double pike glass pass. Nails it. Awesome routine for Shea Mahoney. She knows it, her teammates know it. Wrap that routine up with a double pike.
3 down for Alabama on floor in 3 hits. A 9.9, a 9.875, and then what we expect to be another very solid score for Mahoney. So Taylor Krittner, the senior from Cypress, Texas. She did not compete on Sunday, only meet that she hasn't done beam this year.
Cat jump to front aerial to immediate back handspring.
Alicia, is it tougher going out of Olympic order and having to finish on beam?
I think so. It's so mental, and it's a lot rides on the balance beam. So you can have a mistake third rotation. She was fighting so hard to make sure she got that front toss. Unfortunately, did have to step out of it. But it definitely throws you for a mental loop when balance beam is your last event. You can't relax. On floor, you can relax a little bit and have more fun. Balance beam, you need to stay very focused and in the moment.
And the score, once again, deadlocked between Auburn and Alabama. Bitter rivals in Coleman Coliseum.
1.5. Oh, my goodness. Not the prettiest landing. Does the 1.5. Thinks she has her footing, but doesn't control it, steps it out to the judges. Unfortunately, she's going to lose a decent-sized deduction for that landing alone.
There's the freshman Emily Gaskins. Now, there was a scoring change last rotation for Auburn. Ashley Smith's score has been bumped up from a 9.725 to a 9.775, so vital hundredths there for the Auburn Tigers. And it's not a meet in Tuscaloosa unless you hear a little Sweet Home Alabama.
Emily opens up with a double layout, low landing, has to hop forward, but big skill to start a routine with.
Now you'll hear this is a very eclectic floor routine when it comes to music. Quite the transition there.
Just trying to hit it all genres.
Oh yeah, something for everybody here in this one.
Front tuck step out, round off back handspring, double tuck.
Emily had to compete on her floor routine before the Kentucky meet twice in one day just to prove that she belongs in this lineup. And she's showing why she belongs to Dana Duckworth and everybody here inside Coleman Coliseum. Southern rock, techno, country.
A little line dancing.
And back to Sweet Home, Alabama.
Double pike glass pass. Stuck it cold.
I'll tell you, Alabama is taking advantage of being on floor in the final rotation. They are owning this arena.
That front tuck step out to round off that handspring. Double tuck, fulfilling her multi-salto pass requirement. And then just working the crowd. Finish that routine with that well-controlled stuck double pike, throwing her head back, showing that finish.
And so the pressure is on Abby Millay now. The senior from Denton. The judges are talking things over. There's some sort of conversation going on there with the score from Gaskins.
The ladies have left their tables trying to figure out whatever the discrepancy is.
And this is over on beam, actually, that the judges are trying to figure something out. Every point here is so crucial. Taylor Krippner's score still has not gone up yet. Maybe that wobble, that save.
I think it's the dismount that really kind of threw him for a loop.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, we do have some sort of resolution. And it's a 9-3-5.
They'll be looking to drop that score for sure.
Right now, they're going to have to count a couple of 9-7-7-5s from Drew Watson and Darian Goburn. This meet looks like Alabama's to lose at this point. And that would have to be frustrating for Jeff Braba because Alabama had to count a fall on beam. They had a couple of them. And the door is wide open for the Tigers to come in and pull the upset. Still not over yet, but I wouldn't exactly say that Auburn has excelled so far on beam. That was excelling in his skill, though.
Abby Millay taking the risk on that front punch, front mount. I think at this point it's more of a revolving door.
Sure.
Because it keeps going. Gonna let you have it, gonna let me have it. Oh, we're gonna be tied.
Well, if you drop the current lows for each team, we're tied.
Abby Millay looks like she's on fire so far into this beam routine. A beautiful back handspring layout, step out.
Alabama had to make up a 10th and a half heading into rotation 4.
Beautiful jump connection. All she has left is her dismount gainer full off the side. Stuck landing. That was the routine Auburn needed.
And the Tigers are certainly still in it after the senior delivers.
The cat jump to gainer full. Her teammates are chanting for a 10. I don't think they'll give her a 10. They'll probably give a deduction for just how far apart her feet were on the landing of that dismount. And these judges don't seem the overly friendly type. We're like, oh, this is such a great finish here.
That has not happened this year, to say the least. So now to close it out on floor for Alabama, a couple of seniors. And it all starts out with Abby Armbrecht, hoping that her score ends up somewhere near the heavens.
Opens up with a double A. Huge first pass.
Against Kentucky last week, she added an E-pass for the first time as a senior. She's already graduated. 3 years it took her working on a master's. All that matters for her right now, having to follow up that 9.925 from Abby Millay. The pressure is on.
Round off 1.5 front lay to the step turn dance cover up.
But this is what you practice for, to compete in this type of pressure, isn't it?
100%. This is what all your hours of training goes towards. Abby looking to close this routine out strong with a nice front handspring layout 1.5 to stag jump.
And that is the way you finish out your career at home. Her parents looking on. Armbrecht likely to get a big score there. And right now, Alabama's lowest is a 9.8.
1.5 to front layout. Mom super emotional. As a mom of a small child now, I'm getting emotional watching it. I'm like, it was just so great. It's the last performance she's going to have here.
Well, just think of all the years that you've poured into this career. And as a parent, shuttling them to gymnastics practice and being able to support them going to all these different meets all over the country. It's emotional for everybody.
It's a family effort for sure.
Here's Meredith Sylvia, the final routine on beam for Auburn. And this is the only event she competes. Auburn and Alabama still...
Front aerial to full twisting, swing down.
They are tied with the drop scores still. It could come down to Ari Guerra on floor.
Anybody's game at this point. Jump to switch half.
Auburn with a win would clinch at least a share of the SEC title. Knock off Alabama for the first time in Tuscaloosa.
Cartwheel gainer full to a deep squat landing. Just almost fell, but decided she wanted to tighten up and land and finish the routine.
How did she land that?
I'm assuming she can at least squat. Her body weight is not more, so that's what saved her on that landing.
Those are the days in the gym that really paid off there. And it comes down to Ari Guerra on floor. The senior, the reigning SEC floor champion. Her parents watching one final time as Ari Guerra tries to put on a show and win it for the Crimson Tide. I'm nervous just watching her.
I'm oddly getting emotional as I'm sitting here, and I'm like, get it together, woman.
She's trying to follow up Abby Armbrecht's 9.925.
Opens up double lay. Huge. So much airtime. Switch side, straddle full.
Right now there's a huge discrepancy going on at beam. It was a 9.8 and a 9.55. So they're gonna have to close that picture and that book before we're done here with Guerra trying to finish things off in style. Came to Alabama with 4 screws in her back, has held it together for 4 seasons. And Alicia, one final pass.
So far this routine has had very little in deduction. Looking to close it out with this last tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, double pike. Rocks it. Tears are already flowing before she even finishes her final pose.
And that is how you finish your career inside Coleman Coliseum. Ari Guerra going out in style. Her parents love it. Her teammates love it. She's meant so much to this program. And she is getting that reciprocated here inside this arena.
That round off 1.5 front leg combination pass. Finish the routine. Her teammates ecstatic for her. Mom and dad loved it. Such a great performance.
And that's the performance that wins the meet. Sylvia at a 9.65 on beam. Ari Guerra finishing it off with a 9.95 in all 3 events. She set a career high on senior night. Special, unforgettable. And Ari Guerra cannot even contain the tears as her career at home finishes up. Alabama says, not in our house. The dominance continues over the rival Auburn Tigers. We'll step away right now, but we will close things out right after this. Alabama with a big win, maybe the start of something special here in Tuscaloosa as the season winds down.